Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Roaming Talk here in Slaughter, Louisiana at our gun range. This week we'll be talking a little bit on spotting. So last month, all four of us and Clay's, we introduced Clay. This is Clay Rhoden. You might have seen him on the last podcast that we did. Clay's with LongShot Cameras, and he's in Ohio this week doing an air gun match, and they're providing the cameras and all kind of stuff up there. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But we're all kind of fresh back from King of 1 Mile, and just learned a lot of stuff while we were out there. And this week we're going to talk on spotting and the importance of it, and having your stuff ready before the match, spending more time on your gun. So, Clay, where'd you end up out there?
Finished the match in 7th.
7th? And I ended up 10th, and Chris ended up 17th?
17th.
Bilbo, where'd you end up?
A proud 81st. A very proud 81st.
Yeah. And Megan ended up right there with him due to spotting. So
yes, technical error. That's what we call it.
So we got into it a bunch this year, and we've talked about it. We're not going to beat that one to death, but throughout the year, we definitely learned spotting, which we already knew it was important. And having a good spotter is just as good as having a good shooter. But glass that we've used and have been using, I've been using the Night Force straight spotter, not the new one they have now. I can't remember the model number, but it's that the one they had and they discontinued, which I wish they wouldn't have. And then Clay, what was the spotter you had out there in South Dakota?
Yeah, I used the Swarovski BTX, and the one I have has an 85 millimeter objective on it.
Yeah, and we call it the eyes of God because it is
insane.
Yeah,
you can see everything.
Well, it's unless you're Charles.
I got glasses on and I'm colorblind. I don't. You picked the colorblind guy with glasses. I don't know what you expected.
It's my spotter. That's how that worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. What's neat about that spotter is it's like set up like binos, but it does have a fixed magnification. Like you can't adjust the magnification on it, but you can. Of course, I guess it's parallax adjustment or focus is what you can adjust on it. I like on that sucker that you can see the mirage kind of like 3D. Am I wrong in that? It like gives it to you in layers.
I think that's one of the easiest scopes to see mirage in. I've used a lot of different ones. Kawa has a very nice binocular style spotter as well, but it's really more like two spotting scopes. So it's two separate objectives and like a giant set of binoculars really, whereas the Swarovski brings it down into the one objective. They both work really well, but the Kawa almost, you get lost in the mirage, and the Swarovski using the focus, you can almost like turn the mirage on and turn the mirage off. Which is amazing.
Yeah, and the importance of mirage, being able to read the mirage, that's how we're reading the wind. So we that's another topic, but it's you can see how at 600 yards it's right to left, and at 1,000 yards it may be left to right, or it may be calm, and then you pick it up again. It's pretty neat. That was the first time I've got to look through them, and really it made it. I mean, you can see that 33XC flying through the air like a softball. So I can't wait to see some of these heavies next month through it. So, at the competition, there were we had some errors, and it wasn't just our team. We saw it happen a bunch. I mean, every time I got on the spotting scope, you could see, and I mean, you're spotting for somebody, and I think that's more stressful than pulling the trigger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't want to spot for me.
No. Why do you think Charles spotted for you?
I know.
I did them a justice.
I know. But I don't like spotting for anybody. It's a lot of pressure. It really is. If you call the wrong thing or you don't see it, it's
I was
It's
more
hard,
nervous
you know.
spotting for you than I was shooting.
Yeah,
That
100%.
was
I know you were.
terrified. I was like, I'm gonna tell her something wrong, which I did.
several times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Low, you're high, you're low.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I mean, it's tough. It is. And if you
Yeah.
don't know what you're, I mean, not necessarily just beating up on Charles, but every time I got on the spotting scope and we watched a shooter, it seemed like somebody was making a mistake. Somebody was calling it high when it was low. And it's, and you're sitting off to the side, you don't have the pressure on you. So you're a little bit more laid back watching it.
It's just intense. I mean, you got 100 people behind you.
Yeah.
Everybody's just super laser focused on what that one person is doing. Typically, you have one person that's allowed to speak to you, and nobody else can talk or correct or anything. And I've got my husband back there, and then people I know, but I know I can hear them going behind me, but they can't say anything.
Yeah.
So it's an intense, fun situation. Even if you, like me, come in 82nd and suck.
I came in 81st.
Thank you, Charles. Yes. Yes. I will spot for you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's happening.
That's happening.
Chris is my teammate.
You're going to come in 95th. I'm kidding.
Yeah. It is. It's nerve wracking. And I mean, you make one bad call and you got to definitely take a breath when you go in and just relax. And then if you don't see it, you just got to call, don't see it. I mean, it sucks to have to say no call.
It's important, I think, to work with your spotter before too, because everybody calls a little different. People want to call minutes or left a plate or, I mean, it's just, you have to know how you're going to communicate with your spotter before you lay down and just like roll with it. I mean, I'm not as experienced as the other people out there shooting, so I need like exactly what I'm taught.
Yeah.
And left a plate, right a plate, center. That's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when me and Chris got up there, I was watching a lot of people get confused just because it's heat of the moment. So I made a decision when we got up there. I wasn't going to call it like that. I wasn't going to call two mils or 2/10 or anything like that. I was just going to call the shot, the hold on the shot, where I would hold it to shoot, and it worked good. It worked real good. I think Chris, you dropped 3.
3. Yeah, I dropped 3, and I think you dropped 3 as well on the first day.
So.
Crazy
Take that, Charles and Megan.
Look, Chris, I was like a proud mama when Chris shot. That was amazing how Chris did well. I mean, I knew you were going to probably.
Oh man,
Chris, I was excited.
Communication is obviously huge, but we're always stuck together shooting different things and different events. So I'm already used to how you communicate.
Yeah.
It's important.
Versa.
We do. We shoot
team.
almost every day together.
Yeah. So,
Almost every other day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many rounds we shoot, but it's a lot. We get to shoot together,
To the point where I was like, I'm your wife, right? Like, I'm supposed to get the benefit of the spot. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, Chris gets you. That's
Well, it's just the way it worked out on this one.
it's just,
So, in setting up your spotter, though, I mean, that's a huge deal as well. So I was always taught, over the last 12 years, I was taught to set up behind the shooter as much as I can behind the gun. I see some people set up side to side, and not saying that's wrong, but for me it is, because it gives you a different perspective of the bullet flying downrange.
Spotting in competition, I think, is quite a bit different than other spotting scenarios. Because in competition, you're not only worried about seeing where the impact is and where the bullet went, right? And there's so many different areas to make mistakes in a match. And you guys just really talked about communication a lot. And that's where a lot of people break down in a match. They're either on our team, on Team GPG, we focus on the fewest amount of words to get you on target and get the next shot off, to minimize confusion and take advantage of the wind conditions. And if you don't practice that and you don't have your system down, then you're exposing yourself to mistakes, right? And for me personally, I actually prefer to be next to the shooter when I'm spotting, because I want to watch and make sure that when I tell you to go to 64 minutes of angle, I'm going to watch you dial your knob and make sure you go to exactly 64 minutes of angle. And I'm going to watch you put your wind on and check your bipod and your bubble level and your rear bag. And I've got a much better perspective to do all that sitting next to you. And I think it just helps with the communication. So I think it's kind of a preference thing. Yes, you can see the trace better and you can see impact better right behind the shooter. And so depending on the exact conditions and scenario, if that's the only way that you're able to see the bullet, then you need to be there. But if you can see well enough next to the shooter, that's my preference, just because I can check everything else that you're doing in a match, because there's been too many times where we've made mistakes not putting dope on or putting the wrong dope on, or just having communication issues, or the lots of times our bipod will slide off to a bad position. It changes your recoil. And so instead of, you're trying to adjust for misses, but they're not the result of your aiming point or the wind. It's the result of, hey man, your bipod's been halfway off the mat for your last 3 shots. You just wasted everything on those last 3 shots because you've got a foundational error.
Yeah, then you got to start back. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. We did, with me and Chris, we had a little cadence going, and we repeated everything back, but I wasn't over his shoulder. And I don't remember if you remember on the finals day, Chris's first, I think 3 shots sailed because he was a full rotation off.
Yeah.
And it took me a minute to catch it. I was watching the bullets and they were going there. I mean, the first target's 1,900 yards. So I'm like, man, I see the bullet going, but I don't see it hitting, so I couldn't figure out. And it took me 3 shots. I realized you've got to be a full rotation off. So he went back and dialed out. And then as soon as he did, boom, impact. So
another good friend of mine, that had that happen to him in the quals, and he missed the finals because he wasted 3 shots until he realized he was a rotation off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot to it, man. It's, one of our buddies, Fritz, he tells me, man, it's point and click. Yeah. We go back and forth, he does PRS. And I tell him, I said, man, that's all gaming. That's just point and click. I said, I could borrow your 30-pound BB gun too and go shoot as well,
Take off everything.
These are jokes.
Nothing against PRS community or any other shooting sport.
This is just me and Fritz going back and forth, just teasing each other. No, there's a lot to all of it, but there's a lot of, the first time we shot with you earlier this year, the ELR stuff, in South Dakota at the Lazy J. That was, it was eye opening, because I was like, man, I'm just gonna plop down here and shoot, and I did not get to just plop down there and shoot.
Like we did pretty good the first day, considering, and Clay was, I felt like a princess. I didn't have to do anything. Clay was just down there like, doing all my stuff. I'm like, that's thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was, and that's what it was for.
Yeah, it was a pro AM, and it was great. Like that was such a good program to help people kind of, because I'm a hunter. I'm not.
Yeah, we're all hunters. This is new to us.
So I'm not a I shoot long distance, but not like this. This is totally different. This is competition, and it's just a whole different atmosphere. It's fun, but people are super serious. And it's like as soon as that competition's over, bam, like everybody's just excited and happy, and like, everybody's just super serious the whole
day.
But nice. Everybody's nice, but it's just like
it's the whole time.
It's the real deal,
That's because you sucked and you had nothing to live for.
Hey, I got some nice Bluetooth headphones. All right,
I did too. We got the same.
He's all about the prize table.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look, the first thing I asked him was, you got a hat my size? Because that's the only thing I'm gonna get. And sure enough, I got me that hat.
He did.
South Dakota was eye opening too, because like I didn't know people got that kind of wind anywhere
that was
in the
rough
world. I didn't know wind did that. It was taking tents down, and people were still shooting and hitting the target. And I'm like, that's incredible.
It was. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And we didn't at the finals. There wasn't a whole lot of wind.
Not a lot.
There was a little bit of rain towards the end, but that was really
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, it wasn't a ton of wind that went with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of things. What messed up a lot of people is everyone wants to be the man behind the gun. No one wants to be the guy with the binos, right? We all have so much more time actually shooting than we actually had behind spotting scopes.
Yeah.
Where you realize you're like, that's easy. I just need to tell them where to hold.
Yeah.
And you get
It's-
behind there and you're like, no call.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you said no call 3 times, and I turned around and said, "You didn't freaking see it."
I didn't.
Where is it
you
going, Charles?
like, you still think them glasses are? I can burn
It's like
ants
this
with
big
them
going to
glasses.
the air. Like, where is it?
Hey,
Well, I mean, that all goes back to show that spotting is just as important as shooting.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So it's like when we came back, we were like, okay, let's focus on spotting the range members this week and
Yeah.
getting behind glass rather than shooting, because
Yeah.
it's just totally different skill and you have to be proficient in both, not just shooting, not just spotting, but both.
Right. It's a whole different level of anxiety.
oh yeah. My heart rate was higher spotting for you than it was shooting. 'Cause I was checking my watch. I was like,
140.
well, I got up there the day I shot. I was like, my heart rate's 100. All right, that ain't too bad. I get up there to spot. I'm like, my heart's like, you need to seek EMS attention. I'm like, no, I don't. I just need to not say no call.
we were
Just say where it's something. Just don't say no call again.
Megan came in a day late. She had to work, and the whole time we were telling Charles, "Man, it sucks to be you."
Am I that bad? My God. Now, if we're hunting
Oh yeah,
and you give me a bad call, like, I might hurt you. You know?
fool! You were ready to
'Cause
kill everybody after this
Oh,
one.
I was. Because I take it serious. I'm not going to play around. I want to dominate in everything I do.
Yeah. So what happened on this was Megan she made her impacts at her. I don't know how many you made.
3 or 2 on the first one.
Yeah, she made all 3 on the
On the first target. We moved to the second target, and I don't know how many yards that was. It was
It was like 1380, but her
the
first
second target.
yeah,
Okay.
first was 1300. I think the second was 1380.
Yeah, so it wasn't that much of a
Yeah.
move, but I was shooting. It was low,
Yeah.
but Charles kept seeing it go underneath the target and kind of flare up in the back.
Yeah.
So he was calling it high.
Yeah. And
And
we
I
just
was
watched
like-
it walk down the hill.
Yeah, and I was like, it's high, and I shot again. And he's like, yeah, it's still high. So I dialed down,
yeah.
and I'm just,
Yeah.
like
on
going
down the
down.
hill.
and I mean, I can't see it because that gun blows me off of it,
Yeah.
and I should be able to stay in it longer to see my own impacts. And that's just something I gotta work on.
Yeah.
Staying.
Just got to get behind the
staying in
gun. Just got to shoot. Before you left, I think you shot that gun five times.
No, you took full of crap. We came to the range 5 times, and I shot 20. I mean, I went through so much ammo. You're insane.
remember. Anyway.
It's not about my skill. Okay.
I'm not saying it's your skill. I'm just talking about time behind the gun, and that's what we're about to talk about here in a second. The was just what we were talking about before we started, Clay, about the gremlins showing up, and they showed up for us.
I mean, a lot of times people they don't have enough time on the rifle that they're going to shoot in competition, and they're not comfortable enough with it. And it's happened to me numerous times. Like I shoot heavy class as well. And until this year, I've always shot a 416 Barrett, which is just a monster of a gun. And I do not enjoy, I did not enjoy shooting it, which means I didn't shoot it very much.
Right.
And I only shot it to zero it before a match and shoot it in the match. Well, that doesn't lend itself very well to doing well in the match.
Yeah.
So, I made a lot of mistakes in my heavy gun matches just because I didn't have enough time on that rifle. And it's also got this huge concussion that's way more than anything else that I shoot. And so it kind of throws me off my game. But this year, I rebuilt my heavy gun completely to be in the same stock with the same scope. Everything is the same as my light gun. So if I get time on one gun, I get time on both guns.
Yeah.
But it happens to a lot of people where you just don't have enough time and you make silly mistakes. And I think just like honestly practicing dry firing, practicing transitioning through dope, laying on the ground in your hotel room or whatever it is before the match can make a huge difference in that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's just, even though we only have 1,000-yard range here, I mean, we play pig all the time. Yeah. And part of that with pig is training, so we may shoot a target at 200 yards, and then the next target we shoot is at 900 or whatever. But we're always, and what happens to us a lot of times while we're doing that?
You?
You forget to
Fool, happens to you too. Forget
never
to
forgot to
dial, or dialed it over, you know. And one thing you talked about a second ago was about getting the rounds off. Whenever we shot in South Dakota with you, whenever you got on the gun the first time, and we made the second impact, I guess it was at or the first impact of the second target. It was, it was boom, boom, boom. I mean, you were sending them, and I was like, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And when you got up, I asked you, I said, why'd you do that? And you said, because I want to catch the same wind. And that's what I figured it was. But I was like, that's the way to do this. And I already shoot quick. I can't sit there, so I shoot fast. I mean, if the target's there, I'm not going to sit there and focus on breathing and everything else. I've already been doing that.
I don't want to move once I hit the target. It's ding.
Yeah,
I want to just
send the next
roll
one.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's part of that is, just getting them off. So they give you I think 7 minutes or 6 or 7 minutes to get off 12 to 15 rounds, depending on the format. And,
usually, if everything's going right, you usually have a little time left over.
Yeah,
Now, not everybody. Sometimes
Yeah.
things don't go right, and you run out of time. But most
I ran out of
people.
bullets.
Yeah, I think I had all mine off, and yeah, you did.
Me too.
Yeah, you did. I think I was done in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I think both stages.
I think my last 3 rounds at King of 1 Mile was just like ding ding ding, and it was just like I was mad. Like I could, I was over it at that point. I was mad. It's like 6 shots, not hitting anything.
Yeah, and it happened.
And I'm gonna be the one to be aggravated. That's my thing, is like not getting annoyed when it's not hitting. You know, 'cause that does affect you, or at least it affects me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I was, I was missing the first couple shots on the second day, had me flustered.
Yeah.
And then we got on the second target, and my first shot, I was like, all right, well, I got to dial down. Well, I didn't dial down. I had to use the prism, so I had to sit there and do my math, because the math changed right before I shot. I was like, man, and it told me to come down, and I don't think I came down enough. I don't think I carried the 1 or something. I don't know, but I didn't come down quite enough. And there was a T-post right past that target, and Chris caught that T-post, and he said, "Dude, you hit the T-post right above the target." And I was like,
crucial, though.
Yeah,
Without
that was huge.
hit,
Now, had he
that's
not
fine.
caught that, I don't think I'd have made any impacts on that station.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was good.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think about, right? Because you only get a split second to just see that impact and that little bit of dirt. So
Especially the sun wasn't even all the way up yet, so you weren't really catching much splash on the ground. It was still kind of dewy.
Difficult to see in that area because it was pretty well shaded.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. Everything was.
Y'all all started pretty early too. Like you were like a six shooter, I think.
I can't remember, but
But
yeah, it was
pretty-
fast.
We were
Yeah.
like 7 through 10 or 7 through 11 or something.
Which I like to get it over with.
I do too, but I would have liked a little more sunlight.
Yeah. Like about 12th is good. You have enough time to the sun to lift up.
Well, let me ask this, Clay. What is your advice for people looking to get into this? And obviously, these are bigger cartridges that we're dealing with, and it costs a lot more to shoot these types of guns, like 33XC and above. I mean, what is your advice for somebody wanting to get into this, and how they should practice with these type of cartridges without just sending a bunch of rounds down range necessarily?
Good question. I like to practice with a 6.5 Creedmoor. And I like to practice out to a mile and run a course, anywhere from 1,000 yards out to a mile, 600 yards to a mile with a 6.5. I think it's relatively comparable. And then I would say, if you can, get out with your match gun the week before the match and run 25 rounds through that with some whatever distances you can get out to, but transition through a couple different targets with your match rifle, with the big ammo and concussion and everything that you're going to deal with in the match, and get comfortable with it before you go. But you don't need to be practicing with your match rifle. And again, back to that point I made earlier, where I made my heavy and light gun, the same stock, the same action, the same everything. Well, I also had 2 6.5 Creedmoor barrels spun up for those rifles so that I can actually train on the exact same platform, same scope, same action, same stock, everything. And so that's kind of what my approach has been.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of the like the hunting rifles and stuff we build for some guys. They want one in a 7 PRC or a 300, but they also want one in a 22 Creedmoor or a 6.5 Creedmoor or something. Yeah, just so they're same scope, same stock, same everything. But they can come plink at the range with that, and they go hunt with the other one. But yeah, I've got a 300 PRC barrel for my rig. Then I have the 33 XC, and I'm doing a 37. And we also have a 6.5 PRC built out.
I shot the 6.5 PRC at the Lazy J.
Yeah.
I know.
And you could
You
spin
tarnish
that
that
barrel.
thing.
You could spin that barrel up on that
I was
action.
like hammering it there. Shut up! I did with a freaking 6.5. Everybody's shooting a 400 grain bullet. I was great. What are you talking about? I was
hear about this
great,
every day. I knew it'd be good to poke the bear.
man. Like y'all don't understand how that was incredible for me. Shut up.
No, it was fun.
But that's a good point, because like those Night Force barrels, we could just spin those up on the same chassis and action.
Yeah, but
you can run it on the long
Yeah,
action.
I run them on the Vanquish. I mean, I still got it on the Vanquish, which is, I mean, it all feels pretty well the same as the Matrix Pro.
Yeah.
So, Clay, what are you running? Manners, is that right?
Manners ELR light stock on my rifles.
Yeah. I called them. They said it would be I forgot how long. It was like over a year. No. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in Ohio.
We got invited up here to this. It's called the Pyramid Air Cup, and I think there's 250 shooters. It's an air rifle match, and they wanted cameras on the bench rest stage, and so it sounded like a cool opportunity. Get some exposure to a new market for us, but it's unique because it's 48 targets at 100 yards. They wanted cameras on all 48 targets.
Yeah.
So it presented some challenges for us, but we'll be setting the system up tomorrow. We've got 2 different setups of 24 cameras each. We'll have Wi-Fi on the range, and shooters can come up. They'll be able to connect to the Wi-Fi network for either cameras 1 through 24 or 25 through 48, pull up their target, see live feedback as they're shooting, and then we'll have some big monitors back behind the firing line where spectators can also view live footage from the cameras as well.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And we get to run the cameras here, as well as we have all the ones we travel with and love them. Just the ease of using them is huge. You know, we've had some other ones before we met, and man, just trying to get the alignment and all straight, and it's a headache. But and we're excited. We're getting ready to get some more cameras out here and some microphones on some of them too. So we at White Oak Creek, we got to shoot before King of 1 Mile the other day out there with y'all, and it caught me off guard. You know, we were sitting there watching, and y'all's cameras had the mics. I was like, yes, I like this, you know. And just the more feedback you can give the shooter, man, just the interactive, you know, tell them about it, Charles, like gaming.
Yes.
You've been integral to this.
I don't know how I'm getting wrapped into this, but the cameras are cool. I enjoy
Just
them.
here for me to punch in the face every now and then.
Charles, my punching bag.
I can see that.
No, I'm my computer nerd.
I like how we've skipped over the parts of the issues with me and Megan's rifle. You don't put that under the rug.
Oh, well, you screwed it up.
I didn't have any trouble
I
with the
walked
rifle.
out of there with $10 more than I started. Well, no, technically I was $50 less, but at some point I had won a $5
Look, you
bet
should have paid for
between-
my dinner. I don't even know what you're
They
talking
should have paid for
about.
our dinner. The action.
You didn't have any money left after I took it all away from you. We were shooting
When we
clays.
went to go test that rifle the second time, we put 8 in a 1 MOA
know.
plate in a row.
Yeah.
That was like, that felt a little good, and then there was a problem.
Yeah, it
Felt
just
too good. I had to
it
go
so
away.
happened that
Well, we found out that MDT chassis couldn't handle that 33XC.
It was
Yeah, it was
just
falling
rubbing.
apart.
Yeah. It sheared all the screws off the weights, every one of them.
And look, we loved that chassis.
Oh yeah,
when
I
we
like
got
the
it,
feel of
it's
and everything,
beautiful.
but it was, but it
it's
just couldn't handle
light.
that recoil.
But it did handle it as far as like me feeling it, because the recoil on my gun was nothing. Like your gun was harder on me to shoot. So
because we were running the what brake did we have on her gun?
The Sidewinder, Area 419.
Yeah,
Sidewinder.
Yeah, and that
I mean, I didn't have any trouble shooting it. Like it,
that brake is efficient. So I ordered one when I got home because I just had the brake that goes on our suppressor, and I wasn't shooting that suppressor on it because it catches too much gas, and the recoil is more than you want.
Man, we got to come up with something though, because this competition's
Yeah, they're loud.
it's rough, man. You just like it was bad.
I was unplugged the whole time.
Ooh, yeah,
I couldn't hear nothing.
It was loud.
Clay, did anybody run a suppressor at this match that you remember?
The one guy with Zeiss, he's the only one that I saw.
We did at Lazy
On a
J.
300 PRC, and he did have a can. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it in South Dakota, and I ran my 300 PRC with the can in South Dakota and loved it.
Yeah, I had my on a 6.5.
But going from that, going.
You guys got to play with some of it, but as you're talking about recoil, I've hired Scott McCree, formerly of McCree's Precision, and he had a bunch of cool products before, and we will be bringing some of them back to life. But one thing is a mercury tube that you're able to mount onto the bipod, and specifically for Accutech bipods right now. But I put it on my 375 ShyTac, which is only 27 pounds. And it's a lot of recoil, and I put that thing on there and it makes a huge difference in the amount of felt recoil. So we'll need to see about getting you guys set up with one of those and see if we can take some of the bite out. Because I think you guys have weight. I think you can afford a little bit more weight on your rifles.
Yeah, we weighed like 23 pounds. The MDT was maxed. It was like 25.8. Yeah, it was maxed out. We were sitting there. Jay was having to sit there and take weights off of it. I was like, I don't know how we were this far off.
That's the interesting part with the carbon barrel is you have so much flexibility with your weights now.
Yeah, we ran the carbon 6 barrel, and then on Megan's gun, she had the McGowan just straight steel barrel, so we had a lot more room to play with.
Which is crazy. I mean, what was your reaction to that, Clay? Us showing up with carbon fiber wrap barrels to an ELR match. I know that turned some heads.
Just my reaction is everybody's reaction is like, well, this is going to be interesting.
But what'd it do?
Man, I gotta say, those barrels are crazy impressive. I've shot some of the other ones, and it's like just expected that after 5 or 6 rounds, everything's going to open up. Y'all's don't. They just don't. Your 33 has shot lights out with its carbon barrel. I got that 22 Creedmoor from you, and I tried to burn the barrel down, and it still shoots lights out.
Yeah, you can't stop them.
It never opens up.
Yeah. Yeah, the same, the 300 PRC, the 6.5 PRC. I mean, it just, I'm talking about the comp gun.
Oh,
yeah. Even I had a brand new gun that we built today for a guy, 20-inch barrel. And he got here and I shot that first round. I was like, ooh, there was still some cutting oil in there. I could smell it. And I zeroed it real quick and walked it right out down the range. And I used the dope off of another gun and boom, put it right there next to the bullseye at 1,000. So they do, and they're consistent. That's what the big point is for me, is they're so consistent. So we know if there's something going on with it, it's usually not the barrel. We start checking everything else, and the barrels usually last. But yeah, it was pretty funny. But you could see people looking at that gun like, "What is this?" Or
like, what do they think they're doing with this?
And we're nobody.
Everybody was impressed with it. I think they were impressed with where you guys finished, and they were definitely doubting that you were going to shoot well.
Yeah.
Everybody clapped. Everybody clapped after you shot. And I was like, because it was good. I mean, the second day, like I said, I wasn't there the first day, but the second day
It was great.
Yeah, it was nice, and it was hard. Like people couldn't see, so everybody was struggling. And then you were like, ding, ding, ding. So it was just,
You probably had one of the best finals runs of the morning. At King of One this year, really every year, there's some weird thermals that go on out there in that valley that's there.
Yeah, that's what Jay was saying.
You need the sun to come up and bake some stuff off and get it to settle out a little bit. And if you look at the scores, I think the shooters from the second half of the finals did way better than the first half. I mean, the guys in the morning, you were struggling to see because, as we mentioned earlier, the shadows and the lighting wasn't great. There was some weird thermal stuff going on. It was just a bunch of different variables. And after you got halfway through that lineup, it really, I think, started to settle out and became easier to spot, and people started running the scores up.
Yeah. Which is the luck of the draw. That's just how it goes.
That's what it is in ELR.
Yep. So it was in the second day. Just so the second day, the target started out at, I think it was 1,900, then 2,200, then 2,400. So it's a King of 1 mile, but you only shoot the mile once.
The last target on the first day is 1,783. I think it was this year. So the King of 1 mile name always throws me off, but
yeah, whatever. That was fun. I loved it. I didn't know until we got right out, until we, like a week before we went, that it was going to be beyond a mile. I thought it ended at a mile, hence King of 1 mile. But I got there, talked to Jay, and like he said on the last podcast, he's like, no, what? Well, I just stopped there. We'll push it. So, real quick to straighten out the deal with Megan's gun. The reason why I said that she only got to shoot it a couple of times is we finished that gun 3 days or less before we left.
I also have 2 other jobs, a 4-year-old, a 16-year-old, a house.
It's better she gets this out now than at home.
I have a lot of things going on, whereas you just upstairs shooting with people all day, every day. Like,
It's
we don't
hard
have
work for us to come here and deal with him.
Thank you. Yeah.
Look, we used to hunt 24/7 and shoot together all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's totally different.
Yep.
He's here all the time shooting, and I get to come when I get to come.
Chris is my little mini me.
Yes, he has filled the role of second wife for sure.
I don't want to be a second wife.
No, you
I want to clarify that on camera. I don't want to be Ben Pop's second wife.
You see how hard it
It's a
is?
little
Like,
hips.
yeah. I did shoot that gun a lot though, and I felt comfortable with that gun. I don't feel like there was any problems with the gun when I was there.
So you notice how there's only one gun that's still put together, and our gun has been parted
the
out.
chassis did not work.
Yeah.
It didn't.
I
with
shot
that
the gun
caliber.
today in a different chassis, and the
Yeah,
gun
no,
shoots
but-
lights
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
It's
it was never a thought about if it was the barrel or
No,
not.
it's never the barrel. I've never one time thought, well, it's got to be the barrel. Not with what we shoot with the carbon fiber. It's just totally different.
No, it was a
we don't
phenomenal
ever
barrel.
have
It was
problems.
just that chassis was falling apart because it wasn't meant to handle that recoil.
No.
Yeah.
The action screws weren't able to really, snug down well, shearing all the weight screws off of it. I mean, you experienced that. What happened after the 8 that you put on the 1 MOA plate?
Yeah, the 2 action screws, or the 1 action screw was loose.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
you
then,
never hit it again.
Yep.
Well,
ever since
we
we
quit shooting it
tied-
after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you experienced worse than I did because you shot after me. Didn't you?
No, I shot before
shot
you.
You did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. I
He
don't know what
just
you.
likes to
I don't.
cry.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Because I didn't find anything wrong with the gun.
Hey,
I
walked
we
away
had-
from a
we
$10
had,
bet with 10 extra
communication- Communication issues is where that ends up. So
So, Clay, next month is the, what do y'all call it? The Battle of the Osage.
Osage,
Something
ELR,
like that.
USA, Nationals. A lot of words there, but yeah, it's a match that I'm putting on with Thunder Ammo, Randy Powell of Thunder Ammo. And honestly, I don't think we've had a chance to talk about this much, but man, I am super excited about what's going on in ELR right now. We week before last pretty much got all of the match directors to agree on a unified scoring system for the year. I've been pushing really hard on making a central governing body for ELR.
Oh, nice.
And so we
That
should
could
have
go
some
to
very big announcements coming up at the match
Yeah.
in October. And hopefully we will also be able to work out the details for a national ranking system for ELR for next year as well. That all the match directors are bought into for that as well. So trying to get a little bit of organization around the sport and have a national finale at the end of the year, and then treat kind of the king of one and king of two matches potentially as a
Wrong button.
We got you.
one and king of two matches kind of as like a world final. So lots of big things, but I think there's finally some good structure and organization coming to ELR pretty soon, I hope.
I can't wait to be 881st.
Look, I'm
Put
coming
yourself on a
to.
pedestal there, Bilbo.
Hey, I knew what I was going to do. I was there for the comedic relief. That's what I came.
We laughed at you.
But I know you did. I was hoping you were laughing with me, but then I found out it was at me. But,
It's a little of
Heck
both.
no.
yeah, a laugh's a laugh.
Any of us could end up in that same spot any day. So
I got lucky getting there the second day. I didn't have to spot for anybody.
yeah. Well,
You know?
Clay-
So
yeah.
I didn't have to spot because I should have. If I was there the first day, I would have been spotting for Bilbo.
Yeah.
But I think
And I
there's
would have had a story to tell.
Yeah.
no, sucker. No. No.
So
I had-
what's cool about the match you're getting ready to do though is you're allowed 2 spotters.
right.
So that's
That's
huge.
the difference. Honestly, that's a huge difference. And just having somebody else's eyes, because I mean that's a lot. Like we said, it's a lot of pressure on one person, and just 2 sets of eyes makes it a little more. I don't know, a little less intense, but a little more fair, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about what communication problems people are going to run into, because you're going to have 2 different sets of feedback now, right? And if you're not trained for that, and
You're gonna
Well, yeah.
you're gonna shut up and I'm gonna spot.
Right.
I'm gonna be in the sorry, I'm gonna be in the bathroom.
listen to Ben or Clay.
No, I'm not even gonna be in the area. They're gonna call me up for spotting, and I'm gonna have to run to the bathroom or something. Make an emergency phone call. I'm gonna be
Sudden attack.
gone.
Clay, I hadn't told him yet that we're only allowed to spot for 2 people though. So we got 4 people going.
I'll be all right. That old lady looks like she needs help crossing the road. You're on your own.
But
We'll get better.
Yeah, drive down there the day before and put a camera out there.
well, man, we're excited.
Yeah.
We're excited to get going. We're excited to continue shooting in the ELR, man. That was we had a great time from the Night Force deal we did this year to
Lazy J.
Lazy J. Thank you. I don't know why I cannot.
The shirt's right behind me, so I can see it. That's why I can remember.
But I can't never remember it. But anyway,
Yeah.
the Lazy J, and the place was phenomenal.
Oh,
It was a fun place
beautiful.
to shoot too.
It was so nice, and like the rooms were nice, and it was just one big hotel, I guess. But everybody was there in the same space, so it was fun.
fun.
It was
Yep.
it was a good community. Really
Clay
good
was in the
community.
camper. I mean, the motorhome.
Well, yeah, Clay was removed, but he had children, so I understand. I get it. Need some space.
And then, the place right there in Texas, just right across the we just talked about it. The
Castle.
No, not the Castle. White Oak.
Oh,
They do a match every month. I think starting in February or March,
I think so.
and they go out to I think 2 miles or maybe a little beyond.
They go out to 2 miles now.
Yeah,
it's a good place
Just
to
a super nice facility, easy to get to with hotels. What, an hour and a half east of Dallas, I think. I mean, it's a relatively simple facility to get to. And they do a really good job running an honest, just well-run match.
yeah. I wanted to do it all year this year, and man, we stay so busy. I just couldn't get one match done.
I can't afford it.
Then we got it. we got invited. One of the guys that made the finals invited me to go in 2 weeks. But I can't go because we got an antelope hunt going. And then, I bumped it down to Chris. I
I have family event
Chris-
that weekend now.
Chris is, and the guy just texted me a minute ago. What'd the midget say? So, but
You just tick everybody
Anyway,
off
but yeah.
in one podcast. Like,
But anyway, well, man, we appreciate you being on. Anything you wanted to add on it?
No, only thing I would add, I guess, is that you guys did great at the match. I think you guys have done really well this season, especially for just starting. And I know you guys get a lot of time behind the guns out at the range, and you've had a lot of experience, over the past few years doing this, but it's not easy. And like we talked about, there's a lot of different places to make mistakes and to mess up. Spotting is difficult, and this is not, the shooter for the most part gets the glory. The shooter gets to walk the prize table. The shooter's name gets called out in the rankings and everything, but the shooter is really nothing without the spotter. And we've talked about spotting a lot here, but I just want to emphasize how critical the spotter actually is. If you cannot see, you will not do well. If your spotter can't see, you as a shooter will not do well in a match or really in any scenario. So the spotter is critically important, and it really is a two-man team.
Yeah.
But you guys have been crushing it, and as we talked last time a little bit, you've been just like, when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. You're going to be there. So I appreciate that. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that you're just like jumping into all this stuff. I think you're enjoying it, but there's not very many people that are like, yeah, I'll meet you in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota and go shoot.
Drag my wife.
Yes, you did. So I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed our time together and watching y'all do this. And I think you guys crushed that King of 1 Mile. So great work.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, and really, we couldn't have done it without you. I mean, just the all the knowledge we got at the Lazy J on that Pro-Am was huge.
Clay, you've been instrumental since we started. When we first got the cameras at the range, I mean, it's just, you've helped us so much, and knowledge and just friendship. And it's like, you've been a huge part of us progressing with the range, with the ELR, with everything. So, I mean, we appreciate you a lot. Just helping me in the match. It was like, just, you don't have to do all that, but you're just that guy. So we appreciate you.
Didn't know us from Adam. So, and just jumped in and helped us.
Just
so
awesome.
Really
and your wife is awesome. Like, just, and your kids, like, we just love your whole family. Y'all are great.
Yep.
I just met him.
Yeah.
The second time I've talked to this guy.
You're here for comic relief.
Hey, that's what I'm delivering.
He played one round of sporting clays with you, and he said that's all he needed.
The first time I ever shot a shotgun. I mean, what do you expect?
we knew.
Yeah, my $30 are gone.
I took all your money.
Oh yeah, no. For the match in October, I'm bringing 200 singles, and you better too. Side bets every time. I bet that tree's gonna move to the left.
Yeah. But
Charles is a little competitive, if you can't tell.
Just a little bit.
Little competitive, like the rest of us. We all are. But
oh yeah. But guys, thank y'all for watching us. Just our country's going through a tough time right now. Just the things that went on last week. I don't care what political party you're for or with or whatever. None of that was excusable. And it just hit everybody so heavy, man. It's got me about teared up right now just thinking about it. I mean, what a loss of a genuine human being. And if you say otherwise, you can go back and play his stuff. I mean, it's just because you disagree with somebody, you're going to kill them. It didn't make sense to me. But the growth in what we've seen with people turning to Christ in the past week has been huge, and that's about the only bit of good that has come out of that. I'm just going to be in prayer with our country, be in prayer for that family. What a loss. But our King's on the throne, and he will prevail. So, but anyway, thank y'all for watching. See y'all next week.